Champagne game. FizzFam.
Confidants, what is your profession? See my friend, nothing but soldiers and empowerment over here.
Pop that cork, let it rain, living lavish, no restraint.
Confidants, baby, welcome to the Champagne City. You see it. You see it. If this is your first time here, hi, I'm the Empress, and you are joining me for grown discussions and bubbly banter. Baby, over here, we get classy with a twist, huh? A little clink with chaos with a side of charm. So if you're ready to sip, savor, and spill, baby, grab your favorite glass of bubbly, kick your feet up on one of those chase lounges, say hi to a few people in the chat, and baby, let's get ready to get into the show because I told y'all on the last video that it was going to be part of probably like a 3-part series. And that video was actually the aftermath of the video that you're going to see today. So this video is going to be the prequel, which provoked that response from white people, apparently with black fatigue. Which is really confusing to me because if you understand anything about the algorithm, then you understand that the more you watch a thing, the more it's going to pop up for you. So if you're tired of seeing anything, all you got to do is Control Alt Delete, skip, pause, don't stop. Get it. But here we are. And this begs for some discussion because y'all getting out of hand. Y'all really are. I'm sick of it. I really am. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of y'all. I am. All of this hate. All of this. We supposed to be the United States of these Americas, and we the most divided. We can't get on the same page with nothing. Black folk can't get on the same page with black folk. White folk can't get on the same page with white folk. White folk can't get on the same page with black folk. Black folk can't get on the same page with white folk. Grow the fuck up. I'm sorry. That wasn't very demure of me. That wasn't very cutesy, But here's the deal, right? Imagine this. A grown woman, full damn adult, with bills, responsibilities, and supposedly a moral compass, looks at a 5-year-old black child. And to be honest with you, I really don't care what color the child was. It was a child, and calls them the N-word. Let that sink in for a second. A child. Someone barely out of preschool. And before anybody rushes in with the excuses or try to spin it, well, she did shit up. Dumb ditty. You don't mistakenly call somebody a nigger. You don't. Just like you don't mistakenly call somebody full of shit. You don't mistakenly call somebody the N-word. No, you don't. That's like saying you accidentally slapped somebody and called it a hug. I mean, be so for real, right? That's like saying you tripped and landed in full-blown racism. That ain't a stumble, baby. That was a sprint. That's like saying you accidentally cooked a whole meal. You planned the plate, seasoned it, and served it hot. But what you forgot was, behind every action is a consequence. And behind every consequence is a repercussion. See, what you ran into is what happens when consequence meets up with repercussion. This is about hate. This is about racism that's so deep-rooted that it doesn't even blink before targeting innocence. But guess what? The internet heard it, saw it. Oh, and some of y'all spoke up about it. Very loud, clear, and unfiltered. So this compilation video is going to bring together some of the outrage. I also threw in a clip in here of Pierce. I can't think of his last name. I always want to call this Morgan, I think it is. I always want to call him Pierce Brosnan, but that's a different Pierce. But I also threw in here a clip from his show where he confronts this racist And when I tell y'all, the way he defamed her on national television, the way he gathered her together, the way he ripped the claws out that cat live for everybody to see was priceless. Do y'all hear me? But we getting ready to get into this, because when you attack our babies, we don't stay silent. We show up, we speak up, and we stand 10 toes down. That's the way it should be with any child. Anytime we see mistreatment of children, how sick, twisted, demented, and damn delusional do you have to be that you get your rocks off by hurting and harming a child? That's sick. It's a different level of sick. That's what happens when the milk is beyond spoiled. You know the level of beyond spoiled where the carton begins to swell type of spoiled that we're dealing with here. But I want you to buckle up as we get ready to listen to what the people had to say about this woman calling this child the N-word, all right? Drop in the comments and let me know what you think about this one. And I'm going to join you there, because this definitely begs for a discussion. Confidante, always remember, if it doesn't cause you to elevate, baby, it's causing you to depreciate. Not to mention that after this little fiasco, we going to get to that at the end. I'll be back as soon as you finish watching this video. Confidante, let's talk.
Child? Did you call the child the N-word? It is my own business. You call him. Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again? Okay. Alright, that's what you say. Nobody digging to you. That little kid, you call him the little child? Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child 5-year-old and the N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know, that's a hate speech. And you can be that.
I don't get
Huh.
Real tough, huh, Buck?
We said we'd take care of this at the meeting tonight.
We're taking care of it now. Are you coming down or not?
I need you to ask.
He ain't asking, he's telling.
I need you to ask. So when I give you what you're asking for, we don't have any misunderstanding.
You threatening us?
You first. Then you. Then you.
Hey, my name is Shamarki Umar. I'm the guy who recorded that video of that racist woman that was insulting a 5-year-old child at the park here in Rochester, Minnesota. May I remind you guys, I have a clean criminal record. I've never committed a crime in my life. I am being punished for standing up, speaking up for a child. My address got leaked, my phone got leaked. I'm getting death threats by the minute. I have 4 children, the youngest one on the spectrum. He needs to go play outside every day. He can't anymore. So, doing the right thing gets you punished, and doing the wrong thing gets you rewarded. Make that make sense, America.
Racist white mom calls out a black 5-year-old child, calls the child the N-word, okay? She is now raising hundreds of thousands of dollars from bigots across the land. Here it is.
You call him the child? Call the child. It is my own business. You call him. Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again? Say.
Don't go digging through people's
Nobody digging to you.
A little just dig, you dumbass.
That little kid, you call him the little child?
He acts like one is gonna.
Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child 5-year-old the N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know, that's a hate speech.
Put up the picture full mass. Let's deal with this. A white woman was caught on camera calling a 5-year-old black child the N-word. This was on a Minnesota playground. She raises over $260,000 after the backlash from her insane, extreme, bigoted, and racist behavior. The witness alleged in a separate video that the child has autism. McWhorter said that after he stopped recording, the woman reportedly hurled more slurs and then told him and his wife that they should leave the country. Put her up again. As I've said before, the isms all run together. They work as a team, especially when being spewed like this. So these reports have not yet been independently verified, so I'm going to get into it. The woman in the video has been identified as Shiloh. She has created an online fundraiser seeking $250,000 to relocate out of fear of retaliation after receiving threats in response to the viral video. She also claims in the video that her hateful outburst was due to the child allegedly stealing from her. Now, let's talk about this as if we are adults. The child is being blamed for the adult's racism. Let's start there. Who's childish here? Number two, she's claiming the child stole from her. Not in America. If you're in Minnesota, the child did not steal from you. Let's go to La La Land and play as if a child took something from you. Did the child form mens rea, which means the prerequisite to commit said crime? No. You must have the mindset, understanding that what you're doing is a crime in the first place. The way we would judge this is to look at it from the perspective of the 5-year-old. That's how the courts would see it. That's how any authority would see it. That's how most human beings on the planet Earth would see it, but not this individual here. This individual believes that if a 5-year-old may have picked something up, even if it's true, the narrative that she's saying, if a 5-year-old picks something up, that 5-year-old is worthy of hate speech from an adult, a responsible adult who decided to act in a way that was contrary to common sense, decency, and respect. There are many jurisdictions, Georgia is one of them, where if you even use profanity in front of a minor, that is a chargeable offense, let alone use it against one. So she wrote this, put it up. This is what's on her GoFundMe. I recently had a kid steal from my 18-month-old son's diaper bag at a park. I called the kid out for what he was. Well, wait a minute. Why didn't you put the N-word here again, Shiloh? If you believe a 5-year-old is the N-word and you're asking people to help you, do you realize that you are the problem? And then here's the other product. The people who made the damn contributions.
So she's raised over $300,000 and she's upped the goal to $1 million. And the comments that people are leaving with their donations are about as disgusting as you would imagine they would be. The N-word, used a lot. As Jolly pointed out in this video, one guy gave $1,488 just so it could be a 1488. For those who don't know, that's a big dog whistle with the white supremacists. 14 being the 14 words we must secure for the white race, blah, blah, blah. And the 88, H is the 8th letter of the alphabet. HH as in Schmittler. She's made being a horrible racist who wanted to pursue and potentially assault a child lucrative.
Yeah. Well, Lily Gaddis, you posted a defense of Shiloh on X. It's been viewed 2.5 million times, in which it was entitled "White People Are Finally Fighting Back. Stand with Shiloh Hendricks." What did you mean by that?
Here's the thing, white people have been under attack for years. It's been systematic racism. As much as black people and people of color want to talk about systematic racism in the United States, it's quite the opposite. They get preferential treatment when it comes to getting a job, when it comes to getting into colleges. White people, on the other hand, have been getting attacked relentlessly. Look at 2016 and BLM and all the riots. We just had to sit back and watch people burn down our cities and do nothing about it. So the way to fight back against essentially this anti-white hatred that's been systemically, ingrained in U.S. society is with white unity. We don't see white unity on
Hang on. Okay, but hang on. Sorry, just to be clear, this has got nothing to do with anything you've just said. This is a disgusting, racist woman who repeatedly spews the M-word, first at a young child, and then at the person taking the video of her, does it with complete impunity, does it numerous times. We are talking about a bona fide, unquestionable racist. And so I don't understand why what you've just said to me bears any relation to white unity or anything you've just said. She's just a racist. End, isn't she? You wouldn't dispute that.
Well, it's not about her. It's not about her. It's about
Well, it is about her.
Coming together and supporting another white person, and it doesn't matter.
Why would you want to support a white racist?
Because I want to support free speech, and you cannot have free speech in a country.
No, that's fine. You can support free speech, but you also have to be accountable for what you say. Would you use the N-word out of interest?
Yes.
You would?
I do, quite frequently.
You use the M-word quite frequently. Well, why? Other than the fact you're a despicable racist. Are you?
Some would say I am. I guess according to the ADL, I'm a white supremacist. I'm a neo-Nazi.
Well, if you use the M-word repeatedly, you are a racist, then, are you?
Sure, I'll embrace that. If that means forwarding, helping white people achieve freedom of speech, real freedom of speech, which, by the way, Shiloh Hendricks is being attacked on all fronts. They're trying to bring legal charges against her. They're trying to get her children taken away. So you were saying Carmelo Anthony, it doesn't matter. That's a different.
Sorry, but just to be
thing.
clear, you just said to me you use the N-word regularly. In what context? Do you use it with black people?
Yes, if it's appropriate.
When would it be appropriate to use the N-word? When would it be appropriate?
Anytime I feel like it.
So you're an unashamed racist.
Correct.
Well, do you understand that makes you a despicable human being?
I guess so. I don't really care. I mean, why are we not talking about Shiloh Hendricks? Why are we talking about?
Well, actually, I think you've moved it on in this debate very quickly to your own racism, which explains why you've supported her in public and why you've got all these views. You see no problem with a woman shrieking the N-word repeatedly because you yourself are a despicable racist, and you've just proudly admitted that with a smug grin on your face, which is pretty horrifying, actually, for most people to have to watch. And shame on you. You're entitled to do it, and I'm entitled to call you despicable.
Well, shame on white people for allowing themselves to be systematically discriminated against in the United States. This is our country. This is a country that should be.
What do you mean your country?
Because I'm white and my
What, there are no black people in American history? Is that what you're saying? That they've all just landed in America, invading your white country? Is that your position?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, they were brought here technically.
My God, do you understand how dumb you sound?
This is stupid. This is stupid and racist, and at some point we have to ask ourselves, do we want to reward this kind of disgusting behavior by platforming it?
I don't disagree, Mark. Listen, I didn't know she was going to say that. I don't disagree with you.
No. Yeah. I'm with you. I don't think you knew ahead of time. I'm saying at this moment, someone who's saying technically black people brought up. No, technically Africans were stolen, enslaved, and they built this country. And the idea that you can justify calling a baby the N-word by saying that white people are losing the country is absurd. It's morally bankrupt, and it's honestly besides the point. I mean, all these these are just distractions from the fact that she wants to justify dehumanizing and even animalizing a small black child. It's disgusting.
What is it?
Yeah, I never said that. I never said that.
No, but you may as well have done, because you're just an unashamed proud.
My son stopped.
So that gives you the right to call a child 5-year-old and the N-word.
If that's what he's doing.
That's what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know, that's a hate speech. And you can be the that.
I don't give
Huh. Okay, we'll see about that, what the internet has to say about you.
Now raised $700,000 from the initial $250,000 for calling a 5-year-old the N-word. And soon she'll be at $1 million. In light of that, watch this video.
There have been studies on this. Local news overrepresents black folks as perpetrators, overrepresents white folks as victims. So the message that gets sent is they're dangerous, and specifically to you. They are not only bad people, they're going to hurt you. So therefore, we want to keep them on that side of town. We want to keep their children in those schools over there. We don't want to work around them. We don't want to live around them, et cetera, et cetera. So I think that message comes through loud and clear in the way that media represents people of color. You know, whenever thinking about Tamir Rice, the 12-year-old child that was shot in Cleveland by police, when that happened, what did they do? The first news story in Cleveland that made a big splash was about Tamir Rice's parents and the history of domestic abuse and criminality among his parents, not about the cop that killed him. We talk worse about black victims than we do white killers. What did we say about Ted Bundy? Oh, he was so smart and he was so quiet and he always seemed so nice. Every time one of these white boys goes and shoots up a school, what do we say? We had no idea he was going to do this. So we talk better, we have more sympathy for white folks who commit mass murder, bury bodies under the house, cook them up in a soup pot and eat them, right? Than we do black folks who were killed by police. We start digging for every bad thing they ever did. We want to know if they had a juvenile record. We want to know if they'd ever been arrested. That's what the media does. And until that changes, I'm afraid white folks will stay in denial, and it'll be very hard for us to move forward, whether we're talking about cops or just average everyday folks.
Look how well the other guy's listening and interpreting what he's saying. This is 2015. Everybody was normal 2015 and prior, and then 2016 happened and everybody lost their mind. You had someone who campaigned based off of fear and it revived. He is the media and you're being lied to. I tried to help an elderly lady who left her trunk open as she was backing out of the parking lot. I kept a safe distance away as I am a stranger, and I put like my hand up. I was on the phone with my grandma at the time. I told her to hold on, and I was pushing my car. I stopped to help her. She stops her car, keeps her window rolled up, and looks at me like this. And just stares at me for like 20 seconds. So I go to roll her window down, because she had a roll down window. Rolls it down from this to this. I told her, your trunk. She said, what? I said, your trunk is open. She starts apologizing over and over again. I say, would you like me to close your trunk for you? She said, oh, could you please do that? Closed it for her. She kept apologizing. She said, I'm so sorry. God bless you. I can only imagine the household she was either brought up in or the media channels she was watching, because 80-year-old people still watch the news, that told her I am a threat to her, a young man helping his elders, because I am black and she is not black. The look she gave me was pure hatred, by the way, for someone she doesn't even know. You never met me. But in my household, I was taught to respect and help my elders, especially the elderly. I was learning to be more forgiving towards my elders. Racism starts in the household you were brought up in, and it never actually reflects reality of the real world. Call your family members out. We need to stop this. Y'all know what to do.
Be nice. I'm finding it.
Here. Now, let's talk about the microcosm here. The reason that this woman, and you'll see after I play the video, the reason that this woman, let me start with this, because people gonna get mad at me for starting there. I'm gonna start here and I'm gonna go back there. First of all, it is absolutely abhorrent for an adult to call a kid a name anyway. I don't care what name you call a kid. You so silly that you gonna call a kid a name. A little bitty kid, 8-year-old, 10-year-old, maybe. And you grown calling a kid a name. I don't care what name you call him. You so upset you call a kid a derogatory name. You silly. You can't be serious. You can't be serious. Now, with that being said, and I do not support her calling this kid any name, especially not the name that you're going to find out that she called him, a little black kid. And you know where this is going. But I do see, and I would never support this GoFundMe either. That's silly. But what I do see, and that most people ain't going to tell you, is that white folks are sick of black people. Black people have cried wolf so many times that now they just sick of it. And therefore, a person like this that do what you see her do can raise this much money. It's almost like an indictment. It's like y'all cry wolf every day, every time somebody say the word, and y'all call each other the word every day. And then y'all trying to get this woman fired or whatever they doing for her. And now look at they didn't raise money for her. All right, roll the clip.
You call him a child? Did you call the child? It is my own business. You call him? Okay, why don't you have the boss to say it right now again? Okay. All right, that's what you say.
You're digging through people's shit, you dumb fuck.
Nobody digging through.
You dumb
A little kid, you call him? The little child?
He acts like one is gonna.
Are you about to hit him? You chase him here?
He took my son's stuff.
So that gives you the right to call the child 5-year-old N-word.
If that's what he's gonna act
That's
like.
what you're gonna call him.
That's what he's gonna act like.
You know, that's a hate speech. And you can be recorded for that.
I don't give a shit.
Huh. Okay, we'll see about that, what the internet has to say about you.
My God. It's hard. It is so hard. Waking up in the morning, looking in the mirror, and being disappointed.
That was a lie. That was a lie. But here's my question in the whole thing, right? Where were his parents? Somebody please help me understand where this baby's parents was, because why wasn't there a
flawless victory?
Yeah. But instead we got confusion, cameras, and a whole lot of silence. Where's his baby parents at? Because there's no way. No way. We saw what happened when the little girl was at the guy's doorbell trying to sell some cookies, and he went online talking about he would have sticky icky her had he been home. Mama was online right away. How is it this 5-year-old child has been victimized by this level of racism and we ain't heard nothing from a parent? There's not a parent coming out to tell their child's story. Please, something in the milk don't smell right to me. It just don't. But that's me. I digress. I'm going to deal with it where we are. But it's hard for me to get past the fact that a total stranger had to step up to the plate and defend a child whose parents seem to be nowhere around. Like, nobody is discussing this. No, he didn't even discuss in his video that he talked to the child's parents. So where was the mammy and the pappy that this baby had to go through this and a stranger had to step up to the plate? That's the question we should be asking, on top of the rest of the stuff that we getting ready to get into. For real. And let's talk about the stupidity, the derangement of individuals who feel bold enough to let racist rants roll off their tongues like it's sweet tea or something. The unmitigated gall for me, the absolute nerve to open your mouth and act like the color of your skin or the lack thereof makes you superior to anyone is damn diabolical to me. Still in 2025, that's not pride, that's pathology, that's delusion dressed up in some dusty ass entitlement. You know what it's really giving? It's giving inherited hate and no original thought. Because this is old. This been done before. We've been here already. We passed this. Y'all can't come up with nothing new. If it ain't the ropes, it's the chain, it's the dogs, it's the N-word. Can we not come up with nothing original? We survived all that. We made it past all that. Somehow you think by bringing it up, it's going... See, this is the problem, and we gonna have to jump into a live to deal with it, but this is the problem. We as a culture are so easily triggered. We let them trigger us. We do. At some point, you gotta ignore it. I know that don't sound like the, how should I say it? The boss thing to do. That's, oh, no. I got it. That's not the baddie way to respond, to tell you to ignore it, because everything in this generation is fight it out. So telling someone to just ignore it and it'll go away. Do you not realize as long as people know what your trigger are, they're always going to push those buttons because they know it's going to trigger you? What would happen if we decided to take the trigger away? Yeah, that's a thought. Because really, here's the truth, right? There's nothing supreme about racism. Not at all. Racism is lazy. It's tired. It's the last resort of a soul that's bankrupt of substance. It is. So to the ones still spewing ignorance behind Wi-Fi signals and steering wheels, just know your hate doesn't shake us. It exposes you. But you know, in order to understand something like that, you'd have to have the ability to comprehend, which you don't. So all we're asking is just carry on, or better yet, correct yourself, because we see you, right? We do. But we don't just see you. We also spotlight you. We hear you, but we don't just hear you, right? We archive every syllable like evidence in a vault. And when it's time, we don't just drag, we dismantle. That's the problem. That's the problem. When are we going to learn that it takes more energy to hate? And the truth of the matter is, you don't even know what you hate or why you hate. You were just told that you were supposed to. You just grew up around it. You just watched too many movies with it in there. And now you feel like this is how you have to be. It sounds like a follower to me, not a leader. It sounds to me like you're the one under someone's foot, not me. But that's just my opinion, right? Drop in the comments and let me know what you think about this one. What you think about this whole situation. What you think about the N-word. What you think about these triggers. Let me know what you think in the comments. I want to hear from you. This is only video 2. So there will be another one to come. Oh yes, there will. Because baby, after this went viral, and let me not forget the fact that she raised over almost $1 million from individuals who donated to her because she needed to protect her family. Nobody thought about protecting the kid, the child. Nobody thought about that, right? But you're donating money to protect her. Here's the other crazy thing, right? I don't understand where we get this God complex from, where we feel like just because someone doesn't agree with us or we don't like what they say or do, that gives us the right to throw out death threats and to try to do harm to someone for their belief. It's their belief. Don't we live in a democracy? They're allowed to their belief as much as you're allowed to yours. It's when we start acting on those beliefs that it becomes a problem. But to donate $1 million to a lady who will be, see, you know who I blame? I blame Agent Orange. Yeah, I do. Y'all president. That's who I blame. The leader of the quote-unquote so-called free world. That's who I blame, because he's never spoken out against this, and he never will. I don't know why we don't get this. And he empowers this kind of behavior. He empowers it. He emboldens it because he shares those beliefs. I don't care how many people he lets out of prison that happen to look like me. That's all he got to do to get your attention. That's all he got to do to win the hearts of the crowd.
Win the crowd, and you'll win your freedom.
Is to let some people out of prison. Meanwhile, he's trying to pass laws to allow restaurants to, say that they don't want black people in their restaurant. Make it whites only. You're not allowed to use this power. Meanwhile, this is what he's trying to do. He can't legally do it, but what he can do is remove the barriers through what he signs into order that protects against it from happening. So as long as those barriers are no longer there to protect against it from happening, it's hard to prosecute or say that it happened when there's no longer barriers or parameters to say it shouldn't. But this is what y'all voted for. So I shouldn't be shocked that people care more about a white woman who did harm to a young black kid than the kid itself. I shouldn't be shocked, because this is America. This is the new America. I think we already in the new world. We already in the new world order. This is the new world order. Hate, violence, malice, unforgiveness, unpenitent, everything is on. We gotta do better. If we want better, baby, we gotta do better. So drop in the comments and let me know what you think about this one. I'll be reading the comments to see what you say. And always remember, you're entitled to your opinion. You're entitled to disagree. What you're not entitled to do is be disrespectful. So please respect each other in the comments, and let's have an adult conversation about this. All right? Until we meet again, Confidante. Always remember, if it doesn't cause you to elevate, baby, it's causing you to depreciate. Now raise those glasses, clink, and let's drink. Till we meet again. Ta-ta.